Taylor committed what's called tortious interference with a business contract.
Possibly.
This poor guy.
Rich guy. Bought it for
This
billions.
poor rich guy.
Welcome back to Under Oath. The other day, two of the people in my office let me know that, Jeff, we work hard here. You take people to events all the time. We'd like you to take us to the Taylor Swift Eras Tour. I looked at them going, those tickets are like paying my mortgage.
I'm sure.
The expense
Very popular
of those
artist.
tickets are brutal. Brutal. Now, here's the thing. When we grew up, concert tickets were low priced. You know why they were low priced? Because they made a lot of money selling albums. A lot of money. Stupid money. They made ridiculous money. Albums sold for $11. For those who aren't listening, you could buy one of the songs for $3 on what they call a single, or you'd buy these things or the whole album for $12 and only like 2 songs on the and the album could absolutely suck and you're out $12. Okay. Then came Napster. And then that kind of threw everything off because then everyone goes, I don't have to pay for it. All it is zeros and ones. They're just files. We can do this. Then Apple came along and said, okay, we're going to legitimize it, but you're really going to be paid like pennies on an album instead of dollars.
Well, they get pennies per.
So you're going to have to make your money off traveling. You're going to have to travel with these albums. You're going to have to make money off the concerts. So Taylor Swift is making a boatload off of this and other marketing opportunities, which I fully support. Now, here's where things get a little screwy. I've watched these biographies and these biopics and these documentaries of Taylor trying to get a record contract, running around doing her best, and that's like everybody else. So she gets one. And they cover the costs, and she records, and they put her in the studio, and they pay for her advertising. They do all these things. Now, the fact is this. The record company owns what they call their masters. Those are the recordings. They're going, maybe someday we'll recoup the money we spent on you. Well, Taylor did the same thing like everybody else did. And then the company that owns these masters sold it to a guy named Scooter Braun. A hell of a name, Scooter. He's rich. Done real well. Taylor doesn't like this and says, well, guess what? I'm just going to re-record all my songs. And I'm going to throw something at the end so that my Swifties will know this was the re-recording one. Because it's unfair that these people own my music. They own my music. Discuss.
So whose side am I taking? Taylor's
whose
or
side
Scooter?
do you want to take?
I think Scooter Braun's position would be the least popular.
Not popular.
So
I'm talking easier.
Let me take that position.
I don't want popular. We're not doing popular.
Well, people don't like Scooter.
How about fair?
And so he's like the underdog. So I'm going to represent Scooter.
It's not fair.
Because Scooter has been
maligned.
Well, Taylor committed what's called tortious interference with a business contract.
Possibly.
This poor guy.
Rich guy. Bought it for
billions. This poor rich guy bought all these songs.
But her father also took a cut. Her father also took a cut of this, Al. I just want you to know.
Hoping to become even richer, but he took his chance on Taylor Swift songs.
He bought them. He bought them from the person who did.
And bought them because he thought maybe he could sell them and make more money off them than whoever it was.
He thought they had value.
Sure. And so that's why I paid. And then the artist who recorded them turns around and goes, oh, you know what? I know you spent a bunch of money on it. Let me make that investment completely worthless. Was she inside her contract when she did this? Is this not prohibited by the contract? Do you mean to say that these contracts are so flimsy and artists can add like 4 notes on the end of a song and say, oh, this is a completely reworked original?
I don't think this actually has been tested yet. It's weird, but I don't think it's been tested yet. Because I'll tell you what right now, Taylor, you're fantastic. You do great things. Little girls are inspired by you. But the fact is this.
She's trying to get paid twice. You sold the song. You don't get to make more money off of something after you sell it. Hey, here's my painting. I've only made one of these. This is just one painting. I'm a famous artist. This just one of a kind. You want to buy it? It's $13 million. Okay, I'll buy it. $13 million. I think I can put it in a museum. I think I can charge $5. And after about 6 years, I'll start making money. And then that artist goes along and says, well, I'm going to paint that exact same thing again. And I'm going to put one extra cloud in the picture.
It seems skeevy.
And I'm going to sell that for $1 million.
It seems ridiculously skeevy. Imagine this, though. And Taylor, I'm just bringing this to you again. The reality is this. People sell their music catalogs for a stupid amount of money. Like, for example, I think one just sold for $1 billion. Forgot who's just sold for $1 billion. And they're okay. Nobody has $1 billion catalog.
The Beatles did.
The Beatles didn't sell for $1 billion. It was under that. Michael Jackson, I think it was like 25 years ago, bought the whole catalog for $25 million.
Oh, okay.
Now, are we saying in 25 years that catalog value has times itself by 50? I don't know. I think people are taking their shots because they're gonna go, okay, we're gonna put it on a television show. Okay, 10,000. You're gonna do this one, 50,000. I don't know how you make that money back. I don't know how you ever.
Yeah, if somebody comes along like that and re-records all the songs,
then it's worthless.
That's bad faith. There is an implied obligation of good faith on both sides of a contract. And if you do something intentionally to make my side of the contract worthless now, then you violated the contract. So I think poor Scott there is in a bad spot.
Now, I think this only works in artistic industries. It works as far as art. It works as far as music. I mean, amazing this way. Guy creates this great house. Architect. Fantastic guy. And I guess what, people? I'm going to say this. I don't care what the hell you think. I've written stuff, maybe good or bad. There's music, good or bad. And some people say, oh, I spent a day creating this song, or I created 3 days, or how about 10 days? There are architects who spent weeks creating perfect buildings, masterpieces. You know what they get paid? They get paid for the job. And they have to walk away afterwards. There is an architect who can walk over the family of the people who designed the Empire State Building. Can't go in 70 years later and go, my building. That's mine. My great-grandfather did that. He created it. So it's my building now. I want it. And that's what happens. Rights and everything else are coming back to the original creators of certain things, like 40 years later, 50 years later. Because
it shouldn't be that way. You agree? You agree it shouldn't be that way, right?
I agree it should be that way. And I think what happened was somehow these laws were created because we value in our society artists more than we value the businesses that paid for their work. And a doctor doesn't get to go 20 years after a heart transplant go, okay, you're going to pay me every month for that heart transplant. And what was more important, the heart transplant?
That now phenomenon this never happened before. Nobody. Can you imagine if the Beatles had gotten together after Michael Jackson bought it and then they decided to re-record all their songs? Can you imagine?
Oof.
It would have made Michael Jackson's catalog completely worthless. So we're probably going to get a lot of hate mail from Swifties.
No.
But she's wrong.
No.
If she did that, she's wrong.
First off, to the Swifties, I support you. I appreciate the music and everything else like that. But doctors, lawyers, I got to tell you, Taylor Swift, fantastic artist, not more important than the doctor who will eventually do surgery on me in some way. Taylor, you're not going to save my life if I go under the knife someday. You know, we just value it because it's fun. But there have been other artists that are fun too, that 20 years from now, we don't know. And maybe you will be the unique person in today's world where 40 years from now, we'll still consider you relevant. But you're an entertainer and there are contracts out there.
Very few artists last that long. Very few.
I guess what I'm trying to figure out is how they get away with it. I mean, Prince got up there for years and he was upset about the contracts. And I think back then the contracts, when he talked about what artists got for creating this music. And the hard thing for me was you run around all day long begging somebody to produce you, to try to prove to them that you are a worthy asset. And that's what we do. We do it in auditions. We do it. Bands go all over the world trying to convince some record label to go, okay, we're going to take you and make you bigger. And you're going to benefit from this from the rest of your life. We might not benefit, but you will. Because there's a lot of bands, for example, he goes, well, I was in this band, and I was in this band, and I was this band. They never talk about the losses. And that's one thing an artist, an actor, anybody in the world will say the same thing. They go, oh, we want to benefit if you do great. But they don't lose.
They don't want to share when they don't do great.
Could you imagine? For example, let's do something. Mark Wahlberg puts out a movie. It bombs. Does he have to give back his money?
That's not how it works.
Nope. But if the movie goes well, he gets points on the movie. He gets more money
but
if it does well.
But he made that contract before anybody ever knew what was going to happen. And that you at least have bargaining position. You can't try to rewrite the contract after you've already determined, oh, hey, it turns out the song actually really is popular. And now we got to rework the contract. And if you don't do what I want, then I'm going to make that same exact same song again, except for 4 notes. I don't know how that you can't sue. Because
I don't know either.
Didn't Vanilla Ice get sued?
No, hold on. A lot of people don't know this. Don't do this.
Getting
under
too
pressure?
Close.
Oh, he wasn't too close. He did it.
Oh no, I saw the interview with him. He. Now I couldn't tell the difference. I couldn't tell the difference, but he had it down. He was like, "No, that one goes da," and he did a particular sequence of sounds, and they said mine is, and he did a slightly different sequence of sounds. I couldn't tell the difference, to be honest.
Okay, but here's the thing about that one. I'll give you a hint what he did. Most people don't know this. The song was Under Pressure, done by Queen and David Bowie. All right? He stole the whole riff. That song would have been worthless. You take that song out, you take that riff out, nobody cares. Vanilla Ice goes nowhere. What Vanilla Ice goes like this, his lawyers go, hey, dude, you're going to lose. How about you buy the song? So he bought the rights to Under Pressure from Queen and David Bowie. So right now, Vanilla Ice owns Under Pressure.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well, that was brilliant.
Amazing.
How about that? Lawyers coming in and saving the day.
Yeah.
I like
These lawyers came
like
in, but Barbra Streisand, she went after Rapper's Delight. She said they stole the melody to Rapper's Delight from her.
Rapper's Delight.
To hip hop to hibbity, hibbity, hip hip hop. You ever heard that song?
Barbra Streisand did that song?
No, the underlying music. Crazy.
I'm no Barbra Streisand fan, but I don't recall ever hearing a song
wrote a check.
of hers. Really?
They had to write a check, yeah.
Huh.
But I think about when we talk about the ability to defend product and not defend product.
Once you sell your song, it's not yours anymore. You don't have any control over it. You may have seller's remorse after the song goes really well, but like the point you made earlier, you weren't at all interested in taking the risk. So you can't be that upset that after you sold your song, it ended up doing better than you hoped it would.
Now let's flip the scenario. Artists suing other artists, like we just brought up Barbra Streisand. We brought up, Bowie, Queen, and Vanilla Ice. Now we're doing it for the smallest thing. This sounds like what it sounds like. Like Ed Sheeran went into a case and had to defend his rights in open court to go, no, every note comes from something else. There are only so many notes. And we're suing each other. Now, there have been songs where they've been sued by 5 different writers and artists.
That's my song.
How does one song?
That's my song.
How does 5 different people create the same song?
Have any of those ever gone to a jury trial? I would love to see how
some win, some lose.
People fight over, no, I made it. No, I made it.
And they settled with all 5 guys. It's crazy. When you think about this stuff and you listen to a song and you're going, well, it's like comic books, for example. People come to me. I did a vampire comic book. And somebody comes to me, well, I did a vampire comic. Okay. And I didn't know what to say to him. He was like, do you think I stole you because there was a vampire that I stole your story?
Is that what they said?
Yeah. He was like, well, my vampire was a cop. Yours is a prosecutor. I said, actually, there was another vampire cop, and I think called Midnight Sun. It was a German show about 20 years ago. So did you steal theirs? And the dude's eyes, he was like looking at, what are you talking about? There was a whole TV show.
You know about that?
And he was like, but mine, you see what you're doing now, but mine is a little bit different. Now, that
reminds me of an important lesson in economics. Nothing new under the sun. There is nothing new. everything is some variation of something that's already been here.
I call it the cave wall series. The cave wall. That whatever story you come up with, some caveman did some drawing, a million years ago. And I kind of laugh about that because I think about, I'll be watching something and I'll see there's something when there's something close, but when they steal a whole scene from you, from beginning to end, you wrote that scene, not the idea of the scene.
Oh, like Hollywood did to you when you...
Stop it. I don't want to talk about it.
I can't say it?
No, it sucks. But if you go watch
This happened to you.
If you go see the Ben Affleck movie, The Accountant, just go get my book. Go get Angel Falling and just ask yourself, how can that exist in the same universe? And we're not talking one piece. We're talking multiple characters. We're talking
yours was published way before.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just, there's a thing about California. If somebody steals something from you, it takes years to get paid. You'll go 10 years through the court system to finally get it heard. And by then, nobody will work with you. Nobody will care about what you do. And it sucks. But then there are those people who aren't even close. Their ideas, I had an idea. And a lot of times they didn't even make it into something. I talked to somebody and he must have talked to you. And protecting property, people ask, how do you protect it? Well, there are a couple groups you can file your stuff with. But in the end, if it diverts just a little bit, it's going to divert. And one of the arguments they're going to make is they're going to show past works that are very similar to yours.
Nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new.
Every story's been told 1,000 times.
Now,
slightly different version.
Now, here's one. The AI stuff. Oof. Now, before AI, I had people come to me.
I saw something in the legal news that you cannot copyright a work, a song, or a composer of music that AI generated. In other words, you can't say to AI, hey, compose a song that makes people feel angry, sad, happy, proud. And then AI spits out this song, and then you go to copyright it. You can't do that.
Also, when it comes to images.
You can't copyright it.
Or an image. You can't copyright the image.
Same thing, if you had them generate the image.
But what I'm saying is this. There are artists now suing these companies who put everything together. They took everything out there, and they fed it to these computers. Now, these computers, if you say, hey, do me a favor, write a 10-page story in the voice of Mark Twain, and it'll do it. And it'll be good. Now, you have musicians who say... I
don't know. I've seen the AI stuff. The AI stuff, it's very formulaic. Very, very formulaic. There's no soul to it. There's something missing. When you hear the music, when you read the poems, when you read the stories, yeah, technically it is all of those things, but there is something definitely missing.
And you know what's missing? A good editor. And the good editor goes in there and cleans it up. I know guys who have been lawyers, you lazy SOBs. Their whole books are written with AI, and then they publish it and put it out there. And then they hand it to an editor, and the editor cleans it up.
Which lawyer did that?
Not telling.
Say his name.
No. You're out of your mind.
Say his name.
Why do I want to do this? Do you want to pay too?
No.
Then let's
I'll say you did it on your own with no encouragement from me.
No encouragement. Is this your voice, Mr. Lynd? AI.
AI did. They're doing that now. They're doing scams with people's voices now.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
We did it.
We did it. What are you talking about?
You remember our trailer?
Our movie?
We did a movie trailer.
Oh, yeah, we did do that. Yeah, we're kind of guilty.
And how
of that
perfect
too.
was it?
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
We were doing it for
I didn't
fun.
like the part that you gave me a lady's voice at the end. That wasn't great.
That was awesome.
I played along now. I was a good sport.
Right. You were a fantastic sport. Now, here's the thing that I've been noticing that is just stupid ridiculous. They've been doing fake press conferences with the people who normally do the press conferences.
I've seen
and
Jean-Claude Pierre.
Oh, like the Lakers. They've been making fun of the Lakers using this by having the Lakers GM talk about why he had to draft LeBron's son. And it's like, well, it's nepotism, we didn't want to lose him, and they make up the whole thing. It's made up. But if you see it, you think it's real. I thought it was real for a second. I'm going, he would never say that. And then below it says, it made a joke. But
it's a little scary.
If somebody just posted it, I would think it was real.
Our producer, hey folks, listen to this. This is kind of scary. Our producer described me to one of these AIs without loading up a picture of me. This AI spit out a picture. It's me. It is clearly me. And AI figured that out just from like a 3-sentence description.
Wow. How simple does it make you feel? That you are not special.
That 3 sentences.
3 sentences
like, oh, yeah,
perfectly describes
Craig Lynd right
your
there.
bumpkin ass.
Yep.
I love, see, now we're even beyond Google now. Now I just have Alexa or Siri. And every argument Craig and I have, I'll go. Like somebody came in my office today. We were talking about In and Out, the movie. And he goes, I said, well, that was at least 8-9 years ago. That's impossible. And I was like, Alexa? I don't want to do it because I'll set everyone's Alexa off right now. But see, when you do that, it's hysterical. When you go, Alexa, when was In and Out produced? Now you have to realize we have just set off like probably 70 households Alexa right
funny.
now, which is
Alexa, record everything for the next hour.
Hold on. Alexa, erase all search history. That was for my house, not yours. Okay.
You might have just screwed up. Someone they had just found the right gardening book that they had been looking for, and they saved it in their search history, and you just screwed them up. There's gardeners out there right now on their way to Home Depot who don't know what book to buy. Thanks to you.
Wow, that's sad. But you know what? I feel really good about this because I'm going to do this as a way to lead us out. Alexa, play Queen's Under Pressure.